All right, so most of you know that we're doing some pranayama today. So we're just gonna go for it, and you're gonna come to your wall. And how do you get really close to your wall is something like this. So I am absolutely hugging the wall, okay? And then I'm gonna turn around and get my legs up the wall. Use my arms to scoot into the wall. So I'm absolutely pressing my thighs into the wall. I'm keeping my buttock bones, my two sits bones pressing into the wall. I'll wait to see if everybody's there. So it's an active pressing of the thighs into the wall. Front to back, spread the backs of the thighs out. Okay, and then use your arms here like Urdhva Hastasana. Take your arms overhead. So your legs are going in one direction, that's back and away and up, and your trunk, including your pelvis, is going towards your head side. So reach your trunk away from your legs. Okay, now this is kind of a quick warm up. So now take Upavishta Konasana. Go nice and wide. Keep pressing the thighs away from the trunk. Just keep stretching the arms overhead. That'll keep the length here in the side body. Okay, now Baddha Konasana. So you can use your hands here and bring the soles of your feet together. You can use your hands to lengthen from groin to inner knee and roll those thighs out. Yes, your buttocks leave the wall. That's okay. Keep pressing those. So you're keeping the outer edges of your feet pressing into the wall. And if you're bob, you're probably, the legs might be on the wall. If you're really, really open in the groins, and you can do a good Baddha Konasana, Padmasana. Okay, then back to Upavishta, nice and wide. Okay, now Swastikasana with the right leg in first. So see how I'm lining up my shins, taking my hands here, turning those thighs out and pressing the knees away from the pelvis, the thighs away from the pelvis. Back to Upavishta. Right, reach the arms overhead. Okay, left leg, Swastikasana. You'll know right away which is your favorite cross. Keep those groins soft and push the thighs away from the pelvis. Back to Upavishta. Okay, back to Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. Observe, is it any better? Can you get your legs lower, your feet lower towards the pelvis? Roll the thighs out, press the outer edges of your feet together, push those knees towards the wall. Okay, back to Karna, Viparita Krani. Back to Viparita Krani. Okay, now your right leg is just going to be in a Ardha Baddha half Padmasana. Keep pressing the left thigh back. You can use your right hand to roll that knee. Okay, back to Upavishta, back to Viparita Krani, and then left leg. Viparita Krani and Upavishta. Go wide. Back to Baddha Konasana. This would be the third time, so it should be getting a little better for you. Try to bring the feet closer to the pelvis and roll those thighs out and push the thighs away from you. Reach your pelvis away from the legs, this way, towards the head side. Okay, now you may have to watch, you may be okay just listening, but I'm gonna scoot away a shin's distance away from the wall so that my feet form a right angle, or my shin forms a right angle. You see that? Okay. Now my right leg is going to be in that Ardha Baddha Padma, but it's going to go a little bit further this time. So it's here, and then it's going to bring in closer to that front of the pelvis. Okay. Then this guy is going to stretch up the wall. Then this knee is going to lengthen this away. Kieran, Higgins, modifications would just be to stay here. I think, how's everybody doing? Yeah. Closer to the hip crease helps that external rotation of that femur in the socket. Okay, and now right leg back up, Viparita Krani, and now left leg. In, turn the left thigh out, externally rotate, bring the foot in close. And don't push right at your knee, but start maybe mid-thigh and lengthen that left thigh up towards the knee. Nice. Good. Okay, and then back to Viparita Krani. Both legs up. Just rest. Now take your arms over your chest, interlace your palms, and take the arms overhead for Urdhva Baddha Angulyasana. So the soles of the hands are reaching towards the space behind you. Bend at your wrists. Keep stretching the tops of the thighs away from you, backs of the legs up the wall. Good. All right, and then change the crossing of your hands. And reach. Pull the abdomen towards the floor. Okay, and now you're gonna straighten out like Supta Tadasana. So now you are at this right angle with your shins, and then just push yourself all the way flat so that you're completely flat. And just have a nice stretchy Supta Tadasana. So my feet are joined, I'm at the wall, pressing my feet into the wall. I roll the tops of my thighs in and I press the thighs down. Then my arms come up for Baddha Angulyasana one more time. Exhale, take the arms overhead. The most important thing you can do here is to press your thighs down. Imagine somebody standing on your thighs. Okay, change the cross of the hands. And then one more time, Urdhva Baddha Angulyasana. Feel long, feel the firmness of your legs, and the openness of your trunk. Okay. All right, and then bend your knees into your chest and roll and have a sit up. Let me do this flat wide again. Okay, so this is a open your heart style of Adho Mukha Virasana. So this could be 2 or 3 blankets, 2 or 3 towels, 2 or 3 couch pillows, whatever you have. So I'm in basically Vajrasana, right? My big toes are touching. I'm lengthening my hamstring towards my buttock flesh. Okay, and then my blocks are going to be on the tall side. tallest side. This is the tall side. I'm going to press the tops of the thighs down, and then I'm going to start to come forward. The goal will be for me to get my chin on the bolster, and my hands are going to be like this, a karate chop. So you can see, take my hands off the sticky mat. Now the goal is to open my heart. So just a little bit more forward. So if I keep pulling my chin forward, it opens this thoracic spine right there that I pointed to with the breath. So I'm reaching the arms forward, reaching the chin forward, opening up my heart, broadening my collarbones to the sides. I'll come have a look. Kind of an open my heart, Adho Mukha Virasana. Chin on the bolster or the support. Can you feel your thoracic spine? Sometimes my teacher calls it the pranic band, right? For us women, it's that area just along the bottom of our bra strap. And that has to go in and forward. So first you're just on your chin, you're looking forward. The inner arms are stretching forward. The outer arm is sort of pulling back into the shoulder socket. So I didn't say this, but now that I see some folks, if your heels don't stay on your buttocks, you need some support underneath your heels. Doug, I can't see very much of you. Can you turn? This would be best a sideways view for me if you have the possibility. Okay, so now you've been there for a while. So now it's okay to bring your bolster in closer, a little bit closer, and put your forehead on it. Keep the arms really extending. If you just have the bolster, then keep your arms up on the bolster. Yeah. Don't let the elbows bend. Move that outer elbow bone in and tuck it under more. So the inner arm, the bicep is lengthening towards your thumb, the outer arm, tricep, pulling back towards the shoulder socket. Okay. All right. Inhale and come up, and now have a look. So for some of you, that same support is going to be just fine for head supported Adho Mukha Svanasana. For some others of you, you may want to have the hands at the wall, but I'll just show like this. Put this quite in between my legs. Put my hands forward. When I come up, my hands are forward of my shoulders. I tuck the toes under. And now it's not the crown of the head, but more towards the forehead that is on your support. I have to walk my feet back just a little bit. So the forehead, I would say the hairline for most of us. The hairline is what's going to be on the head support. And you're going to be there between 2 to 3 minutes. So you need to know that you can stay. The other option would be, right, at the wall if you don't think you can stay. So your hands come at the wall turned out 90 degrees. Oops, and you still have your head support, right? So those are your options.
I'm fine, of course, with the heels up, but the knees have to be straight. And you should not be fine with the knees bent. Okay, find the space in your pelvis. Because Iyengar tells us in Light on Pranayama, if we allow the pelvic muscles to initiate the diaphragmatic breath, then we get much, much more out of our pranayama. So feel that broadness of your pelvis. From the center of the navel, broaden the pelvis out to the sides, while those outer hips are cinching in. You have about 45 more seconds. Find space. Press with your hands, reach up through your arms and shoulders, reach the sides of your chest, the sides of your ribs, the sides of your hips, up and up and up to create space in that pelvis. It's a different way today to practice downward dog. Different effect for the pelvis. You could stay on support, Doug. Don't worry about that. 15 more seconds. Make it your best 15 more seconds with firm quadriceps, lifted quadriceps, and broadened hamstrings. All right, come down, relax. Any form of Adho Mukha Virasana is fine. Okay, I think I'm gonna go this way now. This way. All right, we'll see how that view goes with some of my stuff. You will need, don't need to touch the wall anymore, but you'll just need your a strap or a belt, a scarf, whatever you got. Make the loop about, 8 to 10 inches, something like that. We'll be taking Supta Padangusthasana 1 through 3, or 1 through 3. So the other thing you need, is a rolled blanket, towel, whatever you have there. I'm going to just take this blanket like this and roll it like this. It's more than enough. Slightly out to the side like that. So it's not doing anything for the first version. Okay, so keep in mind what I said about space in the diaphragm during this whole series. So my knees are bent, scoot the buttocks forward, come down to my elbows again, scoot the buttocks forward, and lie down, tuck the shoulders under, straighten both legs, Supta Tadasana.
Sheryl, sorry, I don't see where the blanket is. Is it under your sacrum? It's not doing
anything yet until we get in Supta Pada 2.
Okay, all right.
Supta Pada 2. I don't know what's going to be better. No, I think this was better. So you just have the rolled blanket off to the side. I don't know, maybe the previous view was better. Is that going to be better?
Let's see.
It might be.
So Karen, will you pipe in if it's not? All right.
So I will do the same side that you're doing. So I tuck the shoulders under, I can even hold the edges of the sticky mat, Supta Tadasana. Press the thighs down, I'm not touching the wall. I roll the fronts of the thighs in and I imagine someone standing on my thighs. How that view is? Yeah. Okay, so then bend, so you've got a little loop in your strap, bend up the right leg, keep the left thigh firmly pressing into the floor. Have your strap on your foot, take the leg up. So I'm holding the strap, you know, you could have your loop longer. If it causes your shoulders to come up, have your loop longer. Shoulders down, press the thigh away from you. Find some space in the pelvis, across this left side of the pelvis. The bones are anchoring, this femur is anchoring towards the floor. The muscles are stretching right back and away from the trunk. Okay, now you have your little rolled blanket. So, watch. I'm leaning ever so slightly over and I'm putting this rolled blanket at a slight angle so it just comes over to touch that edge of the hip. It's not underneath the buttock bone. It's kind of just on the hip. Then I bring the leg back, hold the strap, take the arm out to the side, palm can be up or down, that doesn't matter, and then take the leg out to the side. Now, I'm not interested today, because I want to open this lower pelvic diaphragm, I'm not interested in this kind of Supta Pada 2. I'm interested in this Supta Pada 2, where the leg is just out at hip angle, not brought in closer. So if you can do a good Supta Pada 2, keep the leg over the hip and just take the leg out to the side. Because now you have something else to do here. Okay, so I feel how the outer thigh and the bone is pulling back into that blanket. Down and in, that's firm. Okay, then I'm going to take this left leg off my sticky mat. And I'm going to roll that outer to inner thigh down and get more space in that left groin, left pelvic diaphragm. In fact, can you feel the broadness of your whole trunk here? The most important thing you can do is to press this left thigh down. No space between that left thigh and the floor. Keep pressing it down. All right, and then bring that leg back up. Bring this leg back to normal, right? And now turn the right thigh out. So this should go better because of the beginning thing that we did. Okay, now you've got your loop strap, right? Make your strap, watch here, it longer, see how long mine is? I don't know, 20 inches or so, long enough so that it's going over the opposite shoulder. Ha! Okay, now I don't have to do anything. It's held in place there. And I can use this hand, whoops, to roll that thigh out and get the shin bone more or less parallel to my, body over my trunk. How's that going? Is it visible? This strap on the left shoulder, strap on the foot, I can hold the foot with the opposite hand, I can hold the same near the knee and roll that thigh out. Okay, it's not this pose, right? The leg is not out to the side. The shin is over the trunk. How's it going?
Where's Bob? Let's see. I can't see very much, Bob. Yeah, it's a little high too, Bob. There you go. So one hand on the opposite hand on the outer foot, the right hand can help roll that thigh up. All right, so Bob, since it's easy for you, can you get that foot closer to your chest? Yeah. Trying to give you some challenge there. How's it going, Marcia, with that hip? Did everybody get the strap on the opposite shoulder? Chaya, yeah? Okay. Karen, that's okay. Yeah, okay, and then release the strap, take that leg up and then down. And just do Supta Tadasana with both legs on the floor. So the Pravana wellness person, I can't see you at all, and I don't know you, so I'm not sure if you want the help, but that's okay. If you don't, then that's fine. All right, bring your left leg up. I just to let you guys know, I woke up at 6 and I did, like a 2.5 hour practice. But I didn't do this pose because I wanted to do it with y'all because I just love doing this pose. It's my everyday pose. It's an everyday pose for sure. Okay, now you have your rolled blanket off to the other side. Make your strap smaller once again. And take the leg up. Play a bit of tug of war as you pull your arms down with the strap, press the thigh back. And engage the right thigh from top to bottom. Press the thigh down. Pull the abdomen. It is an abdominal pose after all. Pull the abdomen towards the floor. The front, superficial muscles of the torso towards the back body. Okay, and get ready with your little roll blanket there. Roll a little bit off that to that right side. Put your angled blanket underneath the left buttock, and then take the leg back up and take the leg out to the side. So the leg is staying right in line with your hip. And take the leg out to the side. Outer thigh and bone pulling back towards the socket. Inner thigh reaching towards the big toe. Okay, then reach your right leg off your sticky mat. And roll that right thigh from outside in. Press the right thigh down to the floor. Move your trunk, which includes your pelvis, away from the legs. And breathe. Feel that space in your lower pelvic region. In fact, you can move the trunk, especially that lower pelvic region, lower side of the bottom of the navel band, from left to right. Okay, then bring this leg back up to straight. Make your strap long, maybe 20, 24 inches. Bend the knee out to the side. Put it on your opposite shoulder. So right shoulder. You may find, one side's better than the other. So you could tighten it up a bit. Roll that left thigh out.
Try not to have, you can get rid of that blanket, but try not to have the knee way out to the side, but the knee right in line to its same shoulder. Not out to the side, but right in line to the same shoulder. Press the right thigh down. And then if it's easy for you, like Bob, bring that shin closer in without giving up the right leg. All right, and then release. Supta Tadasana. Hold the edges of your sticky mat. Tuck the shoulders under. Reach the arms up overhead. Palms face the ceiling this time. Reach your legs away from your trunk.
All right, come on up. I didn't say this, but if you have a chair, that would be great. If you don't, you're doing it on the floor. Put the back of your chair to the screen with your left side facing the camera. So the back of my chair is facing the screen. I'll do the same side as you. And if you don't have a chair, you can just sit up on some blankets. All right. It's just chair Bharadvajasana, or I'll show both ways. So here I am, I'm just gonna sit in the chair, feet together, thighs together. I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna bend my elbows out to the side without letting this right knee push forward. So I cinch my thighs together, I turn from this lower pelvic band. I'm turning. Okay, so those of you who don't have the chair, you're just doing seated Bharadvajasana, and sometimes a little bit of height is nice. So if you're turning, they're turning to their left, so your feet would be to the right. Your right shin ankle is in the crook of your left foot, and you're sitting up here, and then you're turning to the left. So pull, those of you who have the chair, pull the chair apart and broaden across the chest. And now don't just feel that it's the chest that's opening, but I want you to feel the opening across from the navel down in the pelvis. So you are here. Look over that left shoulder and turn some more. Turn that right side of the navel towards the left. All right, and then release. And then you can just swivel on around. Hold the chair on the two sides. Feet together, knees together, and turn. So feel so that whole left side of your lower pelvis is turning towards the right. The chest, you have a tremendous amount of freedom. It's more of an open twist. But this lower part of the pelvis has to turn too. Chair. All right. Turn. Let's do it one more time. Swivel on around. We'll wait for the
Floor people. Feet together, knees together, guys firmly pulled into toward each other. Hold the sides of your chair and turn. Pull both elbows wide and turn. Feel that broadness even all the way up to your collarbones. What happened to your right knee? Don't let it go forward. It might be helpful for some of you, last time, so turn this way. It might be helpful for you to sit a little bit forward, so most of your thighs are off the chair. And then turn. Otherwise, we get kind of lazy with those legs when we feel them resting on the chair. All right. Okay. I'm going to do one concave uttanasana. If you don't have the chair, don't worry about it. You can just do it as normal, but I'll show you with the chair because most of you have the chair. So I'm sitting in the chair, my feet out in front at a right angle. Okay, and then watch. So I'm just going to come forward and grab my big toes. Voila, I've got my big toes. Ring grip, first two fingers in between the big toe, the thumb around the outside. So if you're not in your chair, you're like this. You're in your chair, you got a little rest. Okay, now watch. You could just be in your chair and just lengthen the trunk away from the legs. But now I'm just gonna rock off that chair, straighten my legs, keep holding on to my big toes, and go forward with my trunk. Padangusthasana. Padangusthasana. Keep holding on to the big toes. Look forward, Bob. Look forward. Straighten the knees. Pull up through the thighs. It's concave. Concave. Look forward. Lengthen the two sides of the trunk. Give a good stamping down onto those two fingers with your big toe. And pull your trunk forward. Make your trunk nice and long. Good. So, are your legs working? Can you feel your legs? Yeah, I see the muscles of your legs working. Good. There you go. All right, come sit back down in your chair or just come up. Get rid of your chair. Let's see. I'm gonna go here. Yeah. If I go this way, tell me if this is good. You need a belt for Upavishta Konasana. A belt for Upavishta Konasana. In fact, if some of you just do it, if you can't hold your big toes, do you have two belts or two scarves or two of anything? Let me show you what we're doing. So from Dandasana, I take the legs out wide for Upavishta Konasana. Okay, I press the thighs down. I'm cutting that outer edge of the thigh down into the floor. No space here. Press the thighs down. Okay, so then I've gone to the trouble I always have in my studio. I take two straps and I make one long strap.
But if you don't have that, I mean, you can just have your two straps separately. But if you have a long strap, you put that strap at the bottom of the instep or the top of the heel. And now I'm gonna hold on to that strap, press those thighs away from the pelvis, and now watch my arms, turning those inner upper arms out, and then I look up. So it's Urdhva Mukha Upavishya Konasana. Anything will do, and again, if you don't have your strap, you can just press your thighs down and look up. So lengthen the whole trunk upwards, look up, press the thighs down. There you go, nice. The most important thing you can do, the most important action is the thighs pressing down against the legs. The thighs pressing down so the trunk can lift up. So here I am, pull up, look up. Great for neck cuff. Of course, you might feel that inner leg, right? Stretching toward the big toe side. Okay. All right, and now release from that. All right, so now some work on Siddhasana, but first just let's see where we are. Bring your feet into Baddha Konasana. Okay, bring your hands behind. You can turn the palms out. Sit nice and straight. I'm going to turn sideways just for you to see. Okay, so I keep the feet pressing together. I'm turning to the right. So my right hand comes from behind. My left hand comes here to the left thigh and lengthens that thigh away from me. And I turn some more. You'll get a big, big opening across this left groin. So I turn and reach. I'm not paying, or I don't care if one knee is higher than the other. The idea is to stretch that turning away from side groin. Okay, now to the left. So now I start to my turn. My right hand comes to the right thigh and I reach that thigh down. My left knee comes up, that's okay. And turn. You're okay with this, Karen, huh? Yeah? Karen Higgins? Okay. All right, so now back to Upavishya. I'm going to turn back this way, guys. All right, so to do Siddhasana, you'll bring your right leg in. And it's basically the pre-work for Siddhasana is to stack the insteps. So my left top of my foot is going to go in this right instep. So see my shins, my feet are crossed, and I reach my arms behind. And I open up my groins. I'm trying to find space here in this pelvic diaphragm. Okay, now same thing. Turn to your right, left hand on the left thigh, reach that thigh away from you and turn some more. Oof. Is it easy for everybody? It's not for me. Okay, then the other way, turn to your left, right hand on the right thigh, turn. All right, back to Upavishya. Press the thighs down. That was right leg in first.
Left leg in now. One leg's gonna be higher, that's okay. Turn to your right, so the left hand reaches that left thigh from groin to knee. Turn your trunk, so this whole left side of the pelvis is turning, left side of the navel turns. The chest will want to take over. Turn from here first. Turn, turn, turn. Help, you can use your hand to help turn that lower pelvis. And then to the right, with the right leg, hand on the right leg and turning to the left. Wow. Back to Upavishta. So all of this work is in this intermediate course. And this is what has brought me to be able on a consistent basis to do Padmasana, is all the work on page 32 to 39. There's my challenge for you. All right, press those thighs down. Turn to your right. Okay, keep, no matter what, you're only allowed to come over for the Parshva version if this left buttock bone stays on the floor for today's purpose, because I want a lot of space here in this lower pelvic diaphragm. So I'm turning. If you want to use a strap, it's a great idea. Another great idea how to use your strap. And here, I'll show you with just a single strap. Put the strap on the left foot. Make a small loop, left foot. Right there at the top of the heel. Okay. Put the strap behind you, reach around with your right hand. And now turn. So I've got something to hold on to. And I'm turning that left side of the pelvis, left side of the navel, towards that Iyengar right leg. You can bend that elbow, that back elbow as much as possible and turn. I dearly love this. And if it's easy for you, Bob, if you can keep that left buttock bone, I'm talking about bone, on the floor, then you can start to maybe think about letting go of that strap. Bring both hands around. Right hand, same as the side you're going to, stays on the floor. Reach for the inner foot. Turn that lower pelvic navel band towards the right leg. Then both hands, and as long as your buttock bone has stayed on the floor, you can go down. Remember, it's the bone that has to stay on the floor. Or you're just here, and you're just working on the turn. Turn that lower pelvic away from that leg. All right, and then come up. I don't know about you, but I love this strap. Opposite foot. Reach around with your left hand and turn. So the right hand comes to the top or the outer side of the left leg. You're turning to your left now. So can you feel the work that the leg you're turning away from has to do? It has to stay down and rooted back towards the socket, as this side of your pelvis, I'm going to the left like most of you, turns with the rest of the trunk. It's Parshva Upavishta Konasana. Then you start to come forward. You might call this Urdhva Mukha.
Harsha Upavishta Konasana, because my face is still up. I'm keeping that buttock bone down. I come over, maybe I hold the inside of the foot, maybe I use same hand as the leg I'm turning towards on the floor to help me turn this lower pelvic area more. You just stay in the Urdhva Mukha. How much can you turn that side body to face that inner left leg? Reach the right leg away from you. All right, back to Upavishta. And then your last Baddha Konasana, let's see how that is now. So bring the soles of the feet together. It's better for me. Look at that, my legs are almost on the floor, Bob. And this being my more challenging side, I say, okay, this one goes to the floor pretty easily. So I'm going to work this one towards the floor. Our life makes us uneven. Our yoga practice helps us come back to how we're really meant to be. Symmetrical in an ideal world. Okay, then bring both legs out in front of you wide. Kind of a wide Dandasana. Inhale, raise both arms up. Exhale, go forward. I'm going outside my feet. Okay, and I'm kind of crawling forward, looking forward. I feel the scrape of the abdomen, the ribs along my legs. I keep looking forward, I keep looking forward. I reach the sides of my trunk forward, and then I can just let my head go. Press the thighs down. The hamstrings pull back towards the sitting bones. You want to come off your sitting bones at any amount you can. And feel as though, I'll show you from the side, feel as though that all of this skin here on the back from my sitting bones to my waist is coming forward this way. And then surrender that heart, that head towards the floor. Okay. Oops. All right, you have your same strap. We're going to do 3 quick Chatuspadhasanas like this. So I'm going to have this blanket folded like in half, like that. Okay. And if you have a block, it's useful for some information. You're not going to get to rest on it, but it's just useful for some information. So I just have one long strap, Chatuspadhasana. So here's how the block is going to be useful information. Let's see. So the blanket is for my neck and shoulders. I bring the strap across the top of the ankles. Tuck and roll, tuck and roll. So watch here. I've tucked and rolled, and now you see how this is lifted? Before I come up, I have to pull the sacrum, lift the sacrum towards the buttock bones and flatten that lumbar curve. Not arched, but flatten that lumbar curve. Then I come up.
Okay, and then I'm gonna put the block there for some information. It's gonna tell me when I start to get lazy. So I tuck and roll, and I pull the hamstring up to the buttock, hold that strap, and lift up, high, high, high. Okay, and then it's there for just a little bit of a rest until you get ready to go again. 2 more. So I tuck the shoulders, I untuck the buttocks, so the buttocks go towards the back of the thighs go towards the back of the buttocks, and lift up. And come down. I'm gonna watch you this last time.
So you can't pull the hamstring toward the buttock toward the hamstring enough. All right, last time. You can hold your ankles if you can. You don't have to have the strap. You can hold your ankles, tuck the shoulders, lift your shoulder blades up and into your back more so that your chest comes completely vertical. But lift that junction of the buttock crease and the buttocks, where the thighs meet the buttocks. Lift there strongly. Use your legs, make your legs tighter here. Good, and then come down. All right. I've had, hit or miss with people practicing Shirshasana. How many people today do not have another moment to do a Shirshasana that would like to take 2 minutes to do their Shirshasana now? Or do you want to just do the prep? Only one?
I can do 2.
2? All right. Well, okay, you two that want to do your Shirshasana, go up in Shirshasana. The rest of you, well, let's do the prep together. Okay, tailbone in and thighs back, more Bob. Okay, so we're doing the prep together. I interlace, we'll do both crossings of the hands. So I'm interlacing my palms, my favorite crossing. I put the hands down on the floor just like I would for Shirshasana. And my knees are slightly back over my hips. My toes are tucked under. I press the hands down, the forearms down. I pull the upper arms up into the socket, and then I walk up. Okay, so the goal is, not to keep walking up, right? The goal is to stand up higher with your back and make your back vertical. So I move the shoulder blades in, I lift the front of the trunk from my sternum up to my pelvic, up. Look at your hands. Work your legs. All right, your turn. If you haven't tried it. Finally, people are getting warm. So Chaya, show me a side view so I can see how much you've progressed. Okay, don't worry so much about walking. Your feet have to walk up a little, but it's more about lifting the front of your spine from your sternal notch up towards your navel up towards your pubic bone, and move your shoulder blades deeper into your back. You can hold for about 30 seconds and then you come down. Chaya, you can walk in a little. Walk in a little. Now move your shoulders back towards your knees. Yes. Now walk in a little. Shoulders back. shoulders back, shoulder, yes, push, push. Move your shoulder blades deeper into your back. Okay, Marcia, your front ribs have to go back. Front ribs back. There you go. Yep. Try to move your shoulders back. All of you who are doing the prep, move your shoulders back towards your legs. Okay, and your head is lifted. If you're doing the prep, the head is lifted. Look up, look at your hands. Yeah, look at your hands. Okay, now move your shoulder blades away from your hands. Shoulder blades away, yes. Now go walk up a little bit. Walk up, walk up. Any amount, and keep moving your shoulder blades deeper into your back, and now lift your sternal notch to your navel to your pelvis.
Okay. All right, and then everybody come down. All right. Set up for some pranayama, and you know, the easiest thing would be if you had a bolster, right? If you don't have a bolster, 2 blankets are nice, or if you don't have that, then 1 blanket is nice, or a towel or something like that. So how I typically would do it is I take the blanket this way and I just fold it in half. I take another blanket. Let's see. Half. And I slightly stair step my blankets where I've got a little step there. Okay, and then I've got another one for my head. If an Iyengar teacher tells you Shavasana for pranayama, this is the setup, typically, give or take a blanket or 2. So I put myself close to the edge, but not all the way up to the blankets. Then I lie down, and then I scoot the buttocks forward so that this top blanket is on my floating ribs, my bottom-most floating ribs. Then I lie down. Take my head blanket to touch my shoulders, so my whole neck. Do you see this? I take my hands, the base of my neck, reach and rest. Tuck the shoulders under again. Stretch one leg out, then the other. I quite join my legs for Shavasana, and then I let it go. So I want you to feel a lot of space here. We worked on opening up this pelvic diaphragm. Hopefully, you feel the expansiveness here. Feel from the center line, these muscles reaching toward the side body. And this is as broad as it can be. Come up to see how you're doing. Make sure that you're comfortable and make sure that your glasses are off. Don't need to see anything but yourselves inside, within. Adjust your body, see that you're lying in a straight line so that your center, your breastbone, the navel, center of the pubis are all in one straight line. And if you continue down that line between your legs, your left leg
and that center line, right leg in the center line, there's equal space between those 2 feet and that center line, which is the median plane. Be sure that the tops of your buttocks have moved away from your lower back. You can move, use your hands, as you saw me do at the beginning, to adjust that buttock away from your lower back. Feel the balance of your body left and right as you position yourself and try to equalize the left side and the right side so that the weight feels the same. See that your shoulders are relaxed, comfortable. Let go your arms, let go your legs. Release the thigh muscles, let the thigh bones release to the floor, let them become heavy. Don't do anything with your legs, just let them be. In Light on Pranayama, Guruji tells us that Shavasana is not just relaxation, but it's a process of becoming deeply aware. So as your mind starts to drift a bit, bring yourself back to your focus. And at the moment, we're just focusing on the balance of the body, the evenness of the body. Relax your shoulders, let those arms feel completely loose. Soften your palms, relax all your fingers. Relax your face. Relax your neck and throat. Let the back of the neck feel long, comfortable, and relaxed. Relax your tongue. Letting the tongue rest on the floor of the mouth. Soften your temples, so that that area there at the temple might begin to feel a little hollow. Relax your ears, so there's no tension deep inside the ears, rather there's a feeling of space. Receptivity. Relax your eyes, soften the corners of the eyes. Let your eyes drop back deep into their sockets, as though they're actually receding from the eyelids themselves. And when the eyes drop back, relax the brain so that the back of the brain settles back towards the back of the skull. Move your awareness down into your own physicalness, visually, mentally, directing your attention down into yourself. All the while you've been doing this, you've been letting go, settling in. Your breath has been quite natural, if you will. It's been coming in, it's been going out with any intention, without any direction on your part. Breath has been coming, breath has been going. So now, don't disturb that process. Don't try to adjust it, but with your keen sense of internal awareness, your attention moving down into your torso, become completely conscious, completely in touch with that movement that is your breath. It should be undisturbed, effortless, without intention. The breath comes in, the breath goes out. Where do you feel that movement? Do you feel it more in the abdomen? Do you feel it in the ribs? the whole practice today, I tried you to be aware of the lower pelvis and how the lower pelvis should initiate that diaphragmatic breath in order to get the most out of our prana. So now you're just aware of this touch or sensation. You might even use your t-shirt as a gauge. You might feel where you feel your t-shirt moving. On the inhale, on the exhale, where do you feel it more? Where do you feel it less? And then also, what is the relation of your in-breath to your out-breath? Is one longer than the other? Is there more movement on the left side or on the right side? Keep your body relaxed, soft, eyes looking down into the torso, and follow that completely passive movement of your breath. What is its rhythm? What is its pace? Become intimate with it. Many people have talked about, especially lately, finding our bliss. Bliss can be interpreted as many things, but whatever you think it is by far the single most important thing we can do. Throughout the course of a day, throughout the course of a yoga practice, throughout the course of a walk in the park or in the woods, it is the single most important thing we can do to find our bliss. Nothing is more important than reconnecting with our bliss, because that perfect bliss and perfect joy or happiness is actually gives us a sustained sense of well-being. You might call it internal peace. And I've talked over the last month, it's our connection to what really matters. The divine. All right. So now that you're in touch with that breath, maybe you find a little bit of your bliss. Now we'll go into some Ujjayi breathing. We don't have a whole lot of time, so I'd like to make this simple in that we'll take 3 long, deep, complete inhalations, Ujjayi inhalations, and then followed by the normal exhalation, and then we'll do it on the exhalation. So the first 3 will be focusing on the inhalation. Stay in touch with your breath. You're down, focus down into your t-shirt. Where was your t-shirt moving? Where was it not? Feel your breath. Take a normal inhalation and now a preparatory exhalation. And then long, slow, deep, slow, controlled inhalation from the bottom of that diaphragmatic pelvis. Lift up, go up and up and up and up. Slight pause at the very, very top. No holding. And then exhale, normal breath. Keep your eyes looking down into the body. Keep your jaws loose, your tongue loose. Let go your shoulders, the sides of the neck. And get ready to go again. Normal inhalation, preparatory exhalation. And then your long, slow, deep Ujjayi inhale the breath. Find that expansiveness that you created. At the top, normal pause, and then exhale normally. Okay, one more. Stay with it. All your focus on your breath, normal inhale, preparatory exhale, and then begin Ujjayi inhale from the lower pelvic diaphragm, lift up. Then to the navel, broaden especially there. Then the sides of the chest, lift up some more. And then natural pause and slowly exhale. Okay, now just breathe normally. So this next one will be taking a normal, but it will be slightly longer Ujjayi inhalation. And then you prolong your exhalation. So you make the exhalation long, slow, smooth, top to bottom. Okay, this is your inhale. Exhale. Now a normal inhalation, but a slightly longer inhalation. Keep your mind focused on your breath. And now slowly, you've got the breath inhaled completely, and now exhale. Exhale, your maybe, rib cage, navel. And then exhale the rest of the way. Feel that breath flowing out through the pelvis, broadening there. Normal inhale, preparatory exhale, and then a little bit longer, but normal inhalation, but slightly longer inhale. And now exhale, slow Ujjayi exhalation. Remember that Ujjayi exhalation is sometimes called the sounded breath. So that sound is just enough for you. If someone happens to be in the room, in your house, in the next room, they wouldn't be able to hear you. That sound is just for you. Inhale normally. Exhale normally. Then a little bit longer inhalation. And now Ujjayi exhale, slow. Feel that from top to bottom. Release the breath. Exhale any amount of stale air you have. Okay, this is the last one. Inhale normally, exhale normally. Inhale a little bit longer. And then slowly begin your Ujjayi exhale. How much can you exhale? When you think you're done, a little bit more without straining. Okay, and then release. Okay. Right now, it's a good idea, since you've been up on some height for 10 minutes, to lie flat. So if those of you who can stay, we're not too far over time. It's 10:50, not quite 10:50 or 9. Yeah, 10:50. If you can just lie flat for Shavasana, completely flat. You could still have a blanket for your head if that's comfortable. But I'm going to read a poem. It's one of my favorites, and I used to read it in all my classes that I taught. If you ever went to a class at Clear Spring Studio, I did read it there a few times. But it's just a beautiful poem, and I think it's really appropriate for what we're all facing. We're all in the same boat. Okay, so once again, get in touch with that internal body, your breath. Feel your breath. Feel how, can you allow your breath to be everywhere? And then where is, yeah, put on more clothing if you need it. Where is your mind? Well, your mind is actually in every cell of your body. It exists everywhere. Yeah, take some support. So if you want to put some support behind the back of your thighs, you could do that. If your low back is, put your little blanket or something behind the back of your thighs, that's fine. As long as the torso is mostly flat, the thighs can be elevated. So I said that Guruji tells us in Light on Pranayama that Shavasana is not just a process of relaxation, but it's a process of becoming more deeply aware of yourself. What part of yourself? Well, that deepest part of you, your blissful self, that's always there, yet the world covers it up. So right now, stop for a moment and calm your thoughts. Let go of any anxieties and observe yourself within. Now, if you start to broaden that scope just a little bit and maybe observe the world around you, what do you see? You might see a world filled with beauty, a life filled with possibilities. You might see dreams being born, being nurtured, being fulfilled. You might see a lot of things, but right now there are challenges. Right now there is sorrow in this world. Right now there's violence, there's hatred, but more than all of these things, there is love. There's goodness, there's joy. Even if you just look at this Austin Yoga Tree community. Yes, our future is uncertain, and that means there's no limit as to how beautiful and joyful you can make your future. Yet all we have right now is right now. And right now is completely as it should be. It's your time to be present. Think of what a precious thing your life is and how truly blessed you are to be experiencing it right now. Right now, any anxiety you have about the future is only an illusion. Let it go. Let it fade away as the beauty and perfection of right now completely washes over you. The best thing you can do for your future is to live with everything you have in this present moment. Right now, you're in a position to create a real, lasting, positive value for the world in which you live. Not just for yourself, but for the world. How can we do this? How can we do it on a day-to-day basis? We do it by following our heart, our blissful self. Be the you that is really you. Sometimes we wander away from ourselves Now's the time to come home, to know in your heart you're at this place for a certain reason. Any heartaches, troubles we experience, they're there for a reason. And that reason is for living. It has a purpose. When we can finally break through pains, sorrows, whatever, we can be more alive than ever. Simply breathe in the beauty around you, the beauty and richness of being alive. It is your gift. It is your fortune. It is your blessing. Wake up all the desire and pleasure that your body is capable of experiencing. Let go of your past and follow your bliss. Fold in slowly, mindfully, carefully. Fold in limbs one at a time. And when you bend your knees up, bring your knees a little bit closer into your chest and support your head with the crook of your right arm. So your knees are already drawn up. The top hand can come to the floor. Head down. Slowly come up. Keep your eyes closed. Sit up straight in whatever seated pose happens to feel good to you. Bring your hands to your heart. Okay, whether you found your blissful self or not in that 7 minutes of Shavasana, that doesn't matter. Because Iyengar told us many a times to be happy with little baby steps of progress. So whether you connected to it for a second, 2 seconds, 3 minutes, whatever it was, hold on to that, remember that, what it feels like. So you can go there again. And then you start threading, you make longer threads of those connections to that blissful self. In gratitude for the practice of yoga, in gratitude especially for the community at Austin Yoga Tree and all the teachers who've brought us this practice. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Sheryl.